Hello! Why is that not working? There we go. Hi! Hello, everyone! Welcome back to the Friday stream. It's me, Baby J, hanging out, trying to type in stuff into the that's not the Discord. We're working it out. It's a day for me. Hold on one sec, chat. I'll get you up here. It's a day. Not to be confused with other days. But it is this one. What's up, Paint Liquor? Arctic Mini Painting Studio with the Twitch Prime. Thank you so much. Wildman Vol. What's up? Rancid Vomit. Hello. Panic Bomb Arcade. Hello. Happy Friday. Dragonfire. What up? What's up, Creepy? How you doing? I'm gonna continue painting some gray gnats. Gray gnats. Gray gnats. Gray gnats. Oh, it's Friday. It is freaking Friday. Let's do the things, chat. I think it's just going to be us today. Jason is busy with the business stuff. I will be your payment for this fine afternoon while we get some painting done. Solo, what's up? So here's the question. Do I work on the blue and do all of the weapons for the Nemesis Force weapons? And get those all done? Do I do all of the purity seals? Do I finish highlighting all the red? I'll kind of like this guy. Get all that red painted up so it looks a little bit more vibrant. Do I paint all the white on these guys' helmets? Because all 10 of these guys need to have white helmets. What is the verdict, chat? Mr. Predictable, what's up? Dower, how's it going? Old man slacking again. No, he's not slacking. The reason he's here is because he is extra not slacking. Your votes for the blue, Dower? Can we get some more votes in chat? See what people want? More votes for blue? What's up, Gladiator? How's it going? Blue. Okay, sounds like blue's gonna be the plan.
Blue?
Oh, do we have a Jason today?
We don't paint.
Oh. Fine, I'll paint all the parts of this other than blue.
Yeah.
I stand corrected, by the way, chat. We got a guy.
Yeah. I lied to Baby J. Well, I didn't lie. I said I might not be on stream today. But I'm sick of staring at contracts, so I'm here.
Yeah, we got him.
So I'm here.
We got him.
I'm here, chat.
I think chat has spoken, and we're going to paint all of our Nemesis Force weapons.
Well,
which sounds like fun.
Good luck with all that.
That sounds like fun to me. So let's do it.
Nemesis Force weapons.
Nemesis Force weapons.
What's going on, everybody?
Baby J trusted a liar. Well, there's some tricky parts to this, right?
I said I may not be on stream. That's not a lie. I may not be on stream. Turns out I am.
He's also my boss. So when he tells me something and I go, I'm just not going to worry about that because you're definitely lying to me. That's a bad thing.
That's a bad thing.
We don't do that around here because we like to keep our job.
That's a bad thing. So I thought you already had them all blue.
Yeah, I gotta like actually paint them though. They're just like basic.
What were you asking? Like people said to keep them blue?
No, I was asking what I should paint today. Should I focus on the red? Should I focus on
Oh, you weren't asking if you should change the color.
No.
I was like, I'm trying to train Baby J to not change his mind.
No.
I said, don't.
We ain't changing minds around here. We're just painting force weapons.
Vader Obi-Wan box for Shadowpoint arrived. Everything is sidelined until you finish painting Vader.
I am picking that up this weekend.
Whoa. Dip it in black. Dip Vader in black. Done.
Hello?
Like I keep clicking the button, it keeps not thing. Pictures.
That art for her is really cool.
Las Vegas. I just want to paint skin. Sick of painting armor.
Yep.
I
Feel
don't want
that.
to paint armor anymore. Gladiator says, Grey Knights, good work, Baby J.
Thanks. I am enjoying the Grey Knights. They are being pretty fun. I think it was a good choice for me.
Well, as usual, I'm going to start with dark purple because that's.
Yep, that tracks.
Dark blue.
Now paint it with the same color limitations that Baby J had on the Morgan.
On the Morgan?
That's what they're
No,
saying.
I don't want to do that. That's his own self-inflicted pain.
Yeah.
I didn't want his self-inflicted pain.
I'm gonna be honest, I want to paint the big version of the Morgan now.
The model's so good.
With the regular, with whatever I would want to paint instead of having the restrictions on it.
Oh, just in like full color mode.
Yeah. Just go ham.
Yeah. Definitely.
I think I could do some really amazing things with that model.
Hey, this is a family show.
What? Wrong with doing fantastic things painting wise with models.
Okay, now you've changed your statement.
The statement is pretty much the same.
No, it wasn't. You didn't mention any painting.
Do I need to?
I mean, I don't know you that well.
You know me pretty well. You know me pretty well.
I don't know you that well.
How long have we known each other, Jason?
Like 3 days.
No.
Just this stranger I picked up on the way to work. He was hanging out on the street corner, had a sign said, "We'll paint for food." I said, "I don't have any food." But I said, "We have Hot Pockets and a water machine. Is that good enough?" And he was like,
Yeah, I guess.
"Damn it, I'm in."
Lies, Jack.
What?
He's lying to you.
Never.
Nothing but the lies coming out of this man's mouth.
I will publish our Facebook conversations to prove it.
Are you sure you want to do that? Are you absolutely sure that that is the direction you want to go with this?
I am unafraid.
Well, you say that now.
I am unafraid.
You say that now.
My alternate personality. I don't have one of those, thank goodness. What you see is what you get.
It is much the same as what you see.
What you see, what you get. You guys out on Stream World are lucky because you don't get to see me upset very often.
Yeah.
So
I do get to see that from time.
But the
But you don't get upset for no reason. It's usually a pretty compelling reason for you to be having a bum day.
Oh yeah. No. I don't rage.
No.
And I definitely try to think through all of the solutions, but I have my moments.
Yeah.
I'm human.
I mean, we all do, right?
I'm human. I ain't trying to pretend otherwise.
That's the part about being human.
Today's been rough.
Today?
Yeah. It's one of those days where, because it's a Friday, I kind of came in thinking, you know what I would really like? Is I would like for today to just be kind of a cool, easygoing day. It's not.
And then it wasn't.
Well, I have a lot that I have in meeting-wise, number one. And then number two, there's just, like, I'm looking at my to-do list, and I'm like, why is my to-do list not ever getting shorter?
Yeah.
Jen comes in, and she goes, what's wrong? And I'm like, I want you to look at this screen with me. And it's like, here's my list of to-dos that I haven't gotten to yet. Here's the ones that are in process, and here's the ones that are done, right? Notice the shortest list here is the ones that are done. The longest is the ones I haven't gotten to.
Hey, at least I can come in, bring you some lunch, make life a little bit easier.
Much greater than I think you even know.
Yeah?
So I was sitting there going, what am I going to do? I need to eat. It's Friday. It's game night. Usually I'm excited about that. I'm not really excited about it tonight because I'm going to have to sit in my office and work. But hey, whatever. Need to play my Battletech game.
Want to?
You don't want to?
I'm not really feeling it right now.
What are you feeling, Baby J?
I really want to play Adeptus Titanicus. That's what I've got the hankering for right now. That or some 40K.
A hanker for a hunk of a sliver, slice a chunk of a hanker for a hunk of Titanicus.
Hankering for a hunk of Titanicus. Got me a hankering.
Have you tried the Rogue Trader beta? What are we talking about?
What that?
Is that a video game?
Is that a potato?
Is that a potato?
Can I eat it?
No. I think the answer is no.
Well, huzzah, huzzah! I'll just throw back my legs and pollute my britches with
Well,
delight.
huzzah! Huzzah, huzzah, huzzah.
Who dat?
Who is that?
Punisher. 34 months.
34 months.
My man.
I think I was not thinking of
I think Baby J is thinking of Rogue Taters.
Rogue
Yes.
Taters.
Is that not what was said?
Yeah, there you go.
Rogue Taters.
Rogue
Oh my
Taters.
god, that would be such a great thing. Like a bunch of potato themed 40K ripoffs.
I mean, I'm in. You have my attention.
Potato Marines.
Still have my attention.
Gonna go in and sketch all of my shadows here first. Get my shadow colors set up since I'm not gonna airbrush the base on this skin. I thought about it. But I don't think I'm going to mess with the airbrush until we get to highlights. We'll see. Now the answer is no. I based her in black brown primer, in case anybody is following along.
I noticed that, yes.
Black brown primer gives me a good basis for the skin. Gives me some color coming up out of the blue that I'm doing. It already looks like we're painting. Every now and then when I'm doing a larger scale mini especially, and have a lot of focus on flesh tones, either green or brown might be my go-to color rather than black as normal.
I'm just painting some fancy schmancy reflections on some power swords. Nemesis Force Weapons. Color. That's a good call. That blue, pretty good color. Nice and cold. Keep it nice and cold, chat. Keep it chilly.
Monument Hobbies game number 4, Potato Trader, Rogue Potato, Rogue Tater, Potato Trader.
Potato Trader?
It'd have to be Trader as in Aitor. Potato Trader.
No, or TRADER.
No, it'd be Trader.
Oh no, that is how it normally is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you're
I was getting
them confuzzled.
Getting them confused.
There's jade into my dark blue now. Stitch together my shadows with everything else. Bringing some color in here.
Chaos Tater.
I'm now convinced we need a game about potatoes.
I mean, I would love that.
It is a total play on something somebody else has done. Potato hammer.
Have you heard me with all of my potato jokes?
Potato hammer. No?
Potato is like jokes? My favorite filler word when I just want to say something random.
Oh, that's right. You do say potato.
I literally just say potato.
I thought that was like your Tourette's thing.
No, that's okay. Like literally me being like, I want to say something random here, so I'm just going to say potato.
He's not wrong. He really does say potato for no reason quite a bit.
That's probably good. One down, or one half of one down. 11 more to go.
Don't count. Don't count. It's not good for your health. Is that, how many points of your army does this represent? Have you done your list building yet, or are you just attacking what you have right now?
I have actually built a list. So I actually have 2,000 points. Not in this stuff right here. It's all of this in front of me, plus 2 more units of Terminators, 2 5-man units of Terminators, and a 10-man unit of Strike Marines, and a Purgation.
So how many more models than what you have on the table? Like 10?
It's
15?
10 more Terminators and
10 more
15 more Marines.
Okay, gotcha.
Which is not too bad. I was also thinking about asking to buy one of the knights, so that I could ally in a knight, which I think would be super cool.
See what's happening here, chat? Taking advantage of me. Buying my stuff.
Is it taking advantage of if I'm buying it?
$4 million.
Okay.
Hey, Dad, he said okay. It only has to work once. Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's tons of them in boxes and stuff, so I'm sure we can get you a night.
Work something out, yeah.
I'm not doing anything with them.
Yeah.
I know that Jacob had shown some interest, but I don't know how sincere anybody is. Everybody's like, hey, about all these nights we have.
Yeah.
Chris was asking about them, all that.
I literally need to just make sure that I can ally one, and if I can ally one, I will definitely. I think it would be really fun. Also, I'm thinking that this is overboard on the weapon.
I mean, it looks good.
It looks fantastic.
Why is it overboard? It'll be like the one thing you spend a ton of time on.
That's true.
The whole army.
That's true.
And it does pop enough to be like that spot, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that one thing that you could
it's
have.
That one little bit.
Here's where all my effort went.
Yeah.
And be good about it.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of that. I think it looks good.
It would be sweet to watch you guys paint a knight. They are badass. Yeah, I think the models are spectacular. And I would have a blast painting one. I'd have to figure out if there is any sort of like lore-based tie-in that I could bring to figure out which knight faction I might want to like emulate. And if there isn't, just make one up. Would be cool.
Relegated to making one up.
Probably. Because I don't think there's... Because I know night houses typically work with specific regions. But I doubt there's one specifically for knights.
Technically, they're tied to Forge World.
Are they?
Yeah. They're not tied to, like, Space Marine Legion.
Well, not tied to, but they typically work.
Not really. Not anywhere that I've been able to find in lore. I think in hobby, a lot of people tie them like that, but nah.
Well, I know that, like, in all of the lore that I've read for, like, Legio Krytos, which is a Legio, not a knight house. So it is different. It's said that they worked a lot with the Iron Warriors because they're both big into siege.
Who knows?
Because the whole thing about the Legio Krytos,
you might be talking 30K.
That is 30K.
Yeah, so.
Well, yes, that might be during the 30.
Yeah.
Nowadays, I don't know. I don't know what the deal
The Legios in 40K don't ally with anybody. Like, if you, like, in most cases, when the Legios walk, you have to, like, one of the best things in Hell's Reach was the chaplain guy from the Black Templar that's there, like, basically threatening the princeps of the Warlord Titan to go to war to walk for him. And she did. Walk toward death, but, you know.
Yeah, my thing is I don't know a ton about the night houses. So
the cool thing about them is that they are, like what's being said here, they're free blades, and that's really what you're attaching. You don't get to attach to 40K Imperium unless you're running Imperial Knights. You don't get to do the houses or the banners, as they're called. You have to do free blades. So free blades are like houseless knights that mercenary out, and that's why you can take one.
Okay, cool.
And because that way you don't get to pick any of the rules for the banner rules and like the special stuff. Free blades act on their own.
Who said that?
Oh, that's just the way it is. Because that's I'm like with my Blood Angels, I'm doing free blade unit of 3 of the armigers, the knight armigers.
Cool.
But they act as free blades because you don't get to use like the knight rule set for them, right? Free Blades have the best color schemes. I mean, you can color your knights any way you want to, right?
I mean, I might just do one.
I like having the knights not look like your army, right? Because it drives home the fact that, hey, we have this ally, who's come in with all this heraldry, and because they have personal heraldry and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I'm a big fan of that.
I think it would be a cool centerpiece. Because I have the Red Knights as the medium-sized thing, and then I got all the troops and stuff.
There's an interesting story here that Xenobon brings up that you're confused at first. Deimos is a moon of Mars, and you said, did they move it to Saturn? Right? They moved.
Yeah,
Deimos.
their homeworld is Titan for Grey Knights, where they do all of their
Is there something about them moving Deimos? There's a funny thing in here about reality, like if you bring real science into this, that GW should look at, because both of the moons of Mars are not big enough to really be moons, and they're all in degrading orbits. The two Phobos and Deimos are in degrading orbits, to where eventually they crash into the planet. Like, scientists know the timeline, like that they're going to be torn apart and crash into the planet. Yeah. I think Mars' atmosphere burned off, so... but it's funny, right? Because by the time 40K is happening, there is no moon of Mars anymore, because I think they die. But they may have just, recently figured that out. I don't know. Deimos has their own knights, and Admech serve the Grey Knights.
Ooh, Imperial Buckethead just ordered the Go Bag Evo Paint Expansion 4 and both Signature Series sets.
Heck yeah.
100%, 110% on board now.
Heck yeah.
Thanks for making great stuff. Thank you for liking our cool stuff.
Yes.
And being awesome yourself.
Joshua says Deimos has their own knights, and Admech who serve the Grey Knights. Deimos. Titan, you mean? I don't know where Deimos is coming into this. Is there something in the lore I don't know? That old cat. Phobos will crash into Mars in 50 million years.
Well, the problem is I literally can't ally Admech. It won't let you.
No, you can't do the soup stuff anymore. Right? Unless you're Gene Stealer cults.
Yeah.
Or you can use Imperial Guard.
Yeah. But I can take knights.
Yeah, one. You used to be able to take a knight and 3... Armigers. You could take what was the super heavy detachment, and there was a super heavy detachment where you could take one Lord of War style deal, which was the knight, and you could have 3 Armigers, right? That's why I was going to do it for my Death Guard. I had a bunch of Death Guard and a knight and 3 Armigers. Oh, those would be cool, right? Because knights are cool.
Knights are very cool.
But I don't want to just play knights because they don't... I want some infantry. I want it to feel like war, right? Solo. This is Morgana Le Fay from Mindwork Games. She will be on our website this weekend. It is a limited edition model. This one is number 329 of 400. To give you an idea. We have 49 of these to sell, and then they're gone forever. It is a Brahm model, the artist. Fantastic model. All of the Brahm stuff, all of the signature stuff that Mindworks does is great. Big fan of Brahm. I'm a big fan of the Vallejo, Boris Vallejo, Frank Frazetta style art.
Oh yeah.
And Brahm as one of the more modern ones is great. American artist too, I think.
Brahm?
From Georgia or something.
Yeah, that's sweet. Yeah, Brahm is sweet. That's some of the better, some of my favorite art around, as far as a lot of stuff. Loved everything that he did for Dark Age.
Yep.
It was all freaking incredible.
Yeah, I really, really love that Dark Age went with that kind of aesthetic.
Oh yeah.
I wish we could afford a Brahm to do stuff for us. But that artist we found last night, I'm really intrigued by. I'm hoping he gets back to us.
Yeah, me too.
Mike, whatever his name is.
Freely? What?
Fraley? Maybe?
Frail? Oh, yeah. This is definitely further than I usually go on my armies. It would usually be like,
Got the studio bug.
well,
We're just gonna do it quick. Non-metallic metal.
I'm not doing non-metallic metal. We're definitely not doing that.
You aren't doing it on your blades.
Okay, well, they're like power weapon, force weapons.
That's non-metallic. It's reflective surface painting. That's why I hate that term. Same thing.
That's true. You're not technically wrong.
I'm not wrong at all. They're made out of metal.
You're not technically wrong.
He says I'm not wrong at all.
I'm a little bummed. I want to play games tonight, but everyone's booked.
Everybody's booked?
Yeah. The Digimon nerds want to just play Digimon because they're practicing for regionals.
I'm busy, Tim. You want to
busy.
come do it for us? Want to drive your truck down here and put them on the web?
On the whip.
Unfortunately, man, too much going on around here. Lots of things falling by the wayside.
Maybe I just stream and work on Grey Knights.
Tonight?
Yeah.
You just got done saying the other stream killed you. Don't do that. You don't want to head into your weekend not recuperating.
Well, I mean, we'll have Saturday and Sunday for. But if I'm gonna paint, might as well paint. Talk to people.
Gladiator, you played 2 games of 10th? Technically correct. The best kind of correct. Phoenix, what's going on?
We got a Phoenix and a Cantankerous and a Lumberjack Tim, whose name I can't read. Solo, old cat.
Phil says that Phobos moves 6 feet closer a year to Mars. I think the thing that they're missing in that one, and the thing that they've realized recently, is because it's not big, number one. Like we talk about moons, and that moon of Mars is like an asteroid, basically. It's not even a moon. It's oddly shaped, not like our moon. And the thing I was watching was saying, and I haven't gone to like research it. The thing I was watching was saying that it will tear itself apart before it ever reaches the surface. So that may be the new part that they've discovered, is that it's not going to last that long. It's already starting to come apart. Stuff like that interests me. I like the astronomy end of things, because on a daily basis they're learning what we don't know. And I think that the hubris of science gets out of control sometimes, and you start finding things like, hey, Pluto's not a planet. Like, I grew up thinking Pluto was a planet.
I did too.
What the hell has happened?
Yeah. Like, how is it a planet and then not a planet? You guys want to explain that one to me?
Phoenix, I'm not sure. People smarter than us in this chat will have figured all that stuff out. But yeah, there's a different kind of gravitational orbit, but they're in a degrading orbit, Phobos and Deimos, I do believe. So like Phil was saying in chat there, they said like 50 million years. The thing I was watching was all about, at least the way I interpret it, was all about how they've sped that timeline up to the destruction of that moon because of maybe it not making it into surface contact with Mars. I want to say was the thing, but I could be wrong. I only pay cursory attention to that stuff. Spend way too much time on websites that are way too smart for me.
That's how you make your brain smarter, though.
Well, I have an engineer brain. And so even though I may not know the core fundamentals of certain things stuff are talking about, I can get it. I can grasp what they're talking about. And it's always interesting to me, especially in terms of like cosmic sciences and stuff. It's a lot of neat stuff going on. I kind of like, maybe I just make her like some sort of weird Deja Thoris, like reverse Deja Thoris. She's not red-skinned Martian. She's blue-skinned Venusian. Clarkatron. Yeah, that aspiring sorcerer was good. Is the aspiring sorcerer the one that's attached to the unit? I think that's what I was saying. Clarkatron painted that Thousand Suns piece from yesterday.
Speaking of Clarkatron,
fantastic work.
Yeah, that thing was awesome. Good job. I'm glad you brought up what it was, because we were kind of curious what it was yesterday.
Do a little bit more stark lighting on her than I normally would. See, starting to poke out bits of brightness here and there, but I'm really going to play with darkness more at the beginning.
Very curious to see where you go with that mini. It is fantastic. I'm really excited to see all that stuff go up on the store so people can get their hands on it.
Yeah.
Really, really great. I know I want to snag some stuff from that myself. Alright. One sword, S word is done. Halbyard. Done. Boom. On to Halbyard number 2.
I'm just painting with an old beat up number 4 brush here, just kind of sketch and paint around. I'm not super worried about blending right now. I'm mixing my colors on the palette, right? So if I need a blend, I'll go mix a color in between the color I've got on the model and where I'm trying to get, and I'll get the blunt force with mixing the color I need, as opposed to trying to blend 2 colors on the model, which I could be doing as well, but I don't feel like wet blending. Number 4 gives me the ability to load a lot of water on the brush and get very thin when I need to, very quick. John, there was a game for these models? For these, no. These are just artistic models. These are just great to paint, great way to test your skill, just a great way to paint a model that you'll love and cherish forever, right? A lot of times they bring things to the table like she does where it's not necessarily what you may paint all the time, especially if you're a wargaming painter. Might give you some content that you're not used to painting. In terms of fantasy, if you're big on 40K and painting sci-fi stuff.
A really good way to push yourself to try new techniques and new things that you haven't really tried before on a larger surface too, because they're larger models. So if you really want to be like, I want to do a practice on some skin, and I really want to like go all out and see if I can't get some really beautiful things done with that. These are great models to really explore, you know, all that with, because they're larger, they're beautifully sculpted. Yeah, they're some of my favorite models to paint. Period. I really truly love painting larger scale miniatures. I know you guys see me paint a lot of this stuff on stream, but when it comes to being creative and artistic, there is nothing better than a large scale miniature for me. Can't beat it.
Exactly right.
All of this sort of stuff is the stuff that I like to paint really fast and learn how to paint faster and you know, get models on the table. When I want to spend some time really working on a beautiful piece, I generally gravitate towards larger pieces like that.
75 mil is kind of my God scale. That's what this is. God scale meaning where I really like to be. And it doesn't mean the scale in terms of human proportion. It just means the size of the piece. You know, 75 mil eye to foot, which she's probably a little taller than that, but we call this 75 mil, right? All of the models we did for the Mother Love and Paint Party were 75 mil. It's my favorite scale or size model to be painting. Even if a bust is 75 mil from navel to top of head, it makes all the details bigger because technically it's a larger scale model. It's been cut in half as a bust, but that's still kind of where I like to be. I feel like the amount of resin and or plastic that I have to paint is right in my wheelhouse of not getting bored, right? You know, if you compare her to, say, Dante, this is a very similar amount of painting, right? Even though he's not a 75 mil model, the wings and everything. So I just kind of look at the total amount of surface area I have to paint, and that's really where I'm comfortable doing it. Horus was that way. Most of the models were out of that way. The standard foot troops for like 40K and stuff sometimes are a little small for me.
Yeah.
But there's so many of them, you know.
Yeah,
for a single model, I don't like
good.
painting them necessarily. I gravitate towards bigger models, but I'm thankful that they aren't that big for gaming. Because if it was 75 mil for gaming, I'd never paint enough Space Marines.
Yep.
Right.
Unless you were only doing like 2 or 3.
So yeah, like if they came out with an Inquisition scale game again, you know, 54 millimeter or something that was like a squad. You know,
yeah, that would be cool.
5 Marines, and I'd be all right. You notice I didn't do any kind of zenithal highlight or anything like that. I typically don't. I like to kind of investigate the model with my first layers, find my color, find my lighting. That's what I'm doing right now. Kind of setting up how I want the light to affect her pose. You know, it's a very, not flat pose, but it is, right? She's walking straight towards you. It's very symmetrical. The only thing that's not is the fabric and such. So it has a neat dimension to it, but it is very symmetrical and easy to visualize in its shapes. So now it gives me some more actually complex decisions to make on lighting, because not everything's just laid out for you. You know, she doesn't have a shoulder turned toward us and a look that goes off to the right side of the frame where I can light from a single direction. So here I'm forced into more of a artistic expression of light, finding out like where, you know, do I focus in on her head and face like a typical canvas piece of art would do? Or do I find a directional light from the bottom? I'm gonna play in right now. We're doing it in these darker mid-tones with the jade. Right now I'm just pure jade, like I said. Doing that thin over the top of the dark blue and the mix of jade and dark blue that we've done. Going to be my underpinning colors. She is going to be some sort of more Caucasian-y skin tone, but not really. I'm going to use a lot of yellows, I think. But right now, I want to continue with this like Pascal Blanche thing I've got going on, like we did Cosmo, the Lost. It was all in turquoise and yellows with a blast of red.
I love that guy's approach to in his piece. It's so crazy, and I love teal. So like,
yeah,
the way that the Pascal uses color work, I just find so.
He's a unique individual. He has a really good group of people around him. I have been in contact with his entourage. I actually reached out to him on some sample art that I wanted to have done for our game, and unfortunately, he's not available very often. Yeah. And but I typically go where I enjoy the artist first.
Yep.
And but his team was just so quick and responsive. They were like, hey, well, Pascal doesn't have time. He really likes the idea. He wants you to talk to this person. So we contacted another person. He'll be doing some concept stuff for us as we get further down the road. So that's really nice. Awesome. And a person who, while, you can't really say is an understudy, is somebody that Pascal respects. And therefore, you're going to get
you're going to get some.
You get some good art. But you'd be surprised at how many artists just ghost you, right? Or they automate response you, which is, I understand. This is just jade. Babe, just jade. Jade over dark blue. Dark blue base. Do a step in between where you do the dark blue base, then you mix the jade and the dark blue, then you come back with just jade. And I'm glazing the jade over that, using some heavy texturing. Make sure that I keep the skin flare going. But my goal here is in 2 to 3 passes with each color, I'm where I want to be. So this is kind of, I guess you'd say, a heavier glaze. I'm not really trying to go super light with it. But I'm being able to set up the lighting on the model at an earlier stage without having to dump a lot of bright color on it. One of the things that can be really tricky is if you wanted to go and you start thinking about setting your lighting in terms of brighter colors, right? You can kind of cause yourself problems, because if I were to go right now with the actual colors I want to use for the skin, which might be olive flesh, if I put olive flesh on here right now to find my lighting, I've now created a contrast on this model that is much harder to blend back from. It's not impossible. I don't want to take that time. So I start doing it early on. Now, the problem that this can cause for me is that I can start retreating my highlights in darker colors to, by the time I get to my bright color, it's just small pinpricks. So I'll have to adjust this and pull, now that I'm kind of finding my way, I'll start pulling the jade down a little bit further. And then we'll start going to another bright color. But by then, when I start going to my bright colors, I already know where I want all of my brightness to be. You can see when I set her down, I'm obviously focused on tops of the arms, a little bit of the head, chest, and then a little bit of the belly and thigh. So just maybe a different way for you to approach things, rather than spraying a bright white over the top of your model to find your highlight direction, and then wondering, okay, now what do I do? Now I have bright white and black. This is kind of showing you how you would be painting black. Somebody mentioned they were about to start painting Darth Vader. The way I'm doing this model right here is exactly how you would paint Darth Vader. Just flop your colors into whatever you want them to be. But you can see how with just jade is not a super bright color, but by using jade and the mix of jade and dark blue as my base tones, I've got a very neat darkness here. It could technically be the final color for this model if we were going for some sort of alien blue-green.
Or really, really heavy environmental lighting.
Yeah, I guess so, right? You could turn this into some really cool, like...
underground,
like cave by the pool.
Cave pool, yeah. Because that's, like, if you were in a not lit environment and the only colors that are around you are coming from,
weird,
like,
briny
eerie
water.
Yeah, eerie, like, very luminescent blue water or, like, teal, like, that would reflect off of the skin and would give you a similar color palette to this. So, I really like to mess around with doing stuff like that a lot because it really gets my brain going into interesting places of like, ooh, okay, I really want to use these colors. Let me build a story around how these colors work, and then I build that into, the final product.
Yeah, we were talking the other day. I don't ever start my painting with a plan. And this is very indicative of that process. Not having a plan allows me to play around, and I really like that creative exploration.
I do a little bit of both. It's interesting because sometimes I have a very, very strong plan going into something, and then other times I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah.
The Morgan was a great example of that. I had no idea what I was doing. I was like...
Your plan was that you knew your colors. You had no idea how you were going to utilize those colors correctly on there, yeah. It's a great way to look at it. Why the...
Vermilion, how's it going?
Good evening. Limited color palette challenges are great because they do define the limitations for you.
Yeah.
Which is great for some people. Mm-hmm. But they don't define how to use the limitations, No. It's like, okay. Here's the keys to the car. Where are you going? I haven't thought that far.
I'm giving you the keys. How have you not thought that far? Figuring it out as I go.
Welcome to my life. Look, if you got it figured out already, then you're doing the wrong thing. You've ridden that horse as far as it'll go. Home from Scranton. So where does the hot pink come into the skin theme?
What? Hot pink.
It always blows your mind how small amounts of accent colors change the entire model's color. Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
Yep.
It is insane how...
Oh, yeah, and if you use blue versus sky blue, the whole model looks different. Correct. Every time you put a contrast color on the model, your eye starts to perceive the model differently, right?
Yeah.
That's the whole thing. You start learning that color isn't everything, right? It has to be mixed with vibrancy, value, all of that stuff. Because if you take a darker color and highlight, you're not going to put as much punch on the model. Model look totally different. Take a bright color and highlight that same place, totally different looking model. Then change the hue, totally different model again. Go see what's going on, man. Timteus, you're looking to do a similar color for your
Gosu.
Tyranid flesh scheme. Oh, as kind of the jadey blue. Very cool. This is just dark blue and jade from our line, with one mix in between. So base it in dark blue, mix dark blue and jade together 50-50 for your midtone, and then come back after it with the jade alone is what I'm doing right now. Now I'm going to go further than this. You're going to see this skin move up into, more artistic human skins, I would say. I don't know that at the end of this skin tone would be something you'll see walking down the street anytime soon. But more of an artistic interpretation. But you can see how all the details are being pulled out just with two simple colors. Doing the work we need it to do. But yeah, you could, as you watch me paint, especially when you see me paint flesh, there are so many stopping points along the way, right? Like if you watch any of my videos on painting flesh, there's probably about 6 places you could stop at a step I'm doing and get a really cool flesh for some weird alien thing because the way I toss colors together is sometimes indicative of just crazy hodgepodge grandma's quilt style stuff. I'm pretty happy with that for the jade. We're getting to the point where the jade is about as bright as it'll go. There's no use banging it on the model more.
I got a bunch of white on the tip of this silly thing.
All right.
At least you're back. At least you're
I think I'm gonna try something silly.
silly?
Something silly.
That's not silly.
The color I'm grabbing is not the color I want. Like, where's the color? Okay. Silly, Jason.
That color doesn't belong there.
Silly, man. Timteus, exactly. Have them both already. Even, yeah, dark blue and jade together are a tremendous mixture. You can continue mixing them. You can then go into turquoise. You can leave the dark blue in the mix and move to turquoise and dark blue. You can just go to turquoise. This is how dark blue jade and then full jade look. So where you go from here is kind of up to you. Turquoise works really well. Bright jade works really well. Faded green could work. It would change the look like we were saying a minute ago. Go faded green, you get a totally different look out of this. But you've defined kind of your mid-tone shadow colors by now.
I messaged Baby J saying I wouldn't be able to make it to the review last night, but I guess he didn't see the message. Yeah, speaking of Gosu, you need to message me, or I'll message you later. Because I gotta get the stuff.
Your winner info.
The winner info.
But now I'm here. Now I am going to go a lot brighter because I know where my highlights want to be.
Greens. Whoa, this man's crazy. Look at what he's doing. He's doing crazy things. That's not so. Heck yeah, Shard.
This is dark warm flesh with jade.
Is it Dark Worm Flesh and Jade?
Yeah.
Love that comic.
Start pulling yellow in. Again, you'll notice I'm not worried at all about blending. It's not the point.
Started watching the new episodes of The Witcher last night.
And
They are fine.
it's fine.
Yeah.
Meeting or missing expectations.
I would say it's not meeting expectations, but I have high expectations because I really liked the first season, and I don't think the second season was as good. So my expectations are pretty high.
Gotcha.
But I like I'll watch the season. I think for me, I feel like Dandelion's character is not well
Who's
treated.
that?
It's the bard, or the dude with the lute.
He's my least favorite. He's the reason I said I wouldn't watch anything past season 1. In season 2, it was better, but he was too brooding. Like they went the opposite direction.
I actually really liked his character in season 1, and I thought his character in season 2 sucked.
Well, you were looking for the buddy cop comic relief, and I was not.
I think his character in season 2 is not like what I experienced when I read the first novel.
Yeah, I think everybody said that, right? That the books or the series drifts quite far from the books.
Season 1 felt pretty correct, and I feel like that character being a brooding character just doesn't make sense for me.
Yeah, I felt like that was not what you wanted either, but I didn't like the buddy cop comic relief. He was like a Joe Pesci character from Die Hard, or not Die Hard, one with Danny Glover and Mel Gibson. Lethal Weapon, yeah.
I'm also pretty sure the intention for his character's name is that his name is supposed to actually just be Dandelion. That is how it's spelled.
Dandelion.
Yeah. I think people just call it Dandelion. But in the books they call him Dandelion. Which I think is supposed to be a joke of Geralt just making fun of him for being a prancing pony of a human being.
Right.
But I don't know. I do want to go back and read more of the book. Because I've heard the series is very good. And I've only read the first book.
They're all translated, right? It's from...
I'm pretty sure the translations are fairly good.
No, I'm just saying. They're not
translated.
native English books,
correct.
Right?
I don't believe so. I want to say don't butcher me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure the original author is Polish.
I feel like that's right.
I'm pretty sure that's right. But don't behead me if I'm wrong, chat.
Big burly glaze of jade right back over my combo where we start blending.
Oh yeah, Tim says they started to stray from the books in the second season. They took some liberties in the first, but it made. I felt like pretty much every scene in the first season, I can very vividly remember from the book. In almost every single scene, and they all pretty much did what they were supposed to with regards to story. So from that perspective, I think it's great. Arctic Mini, see you later. Enjoy the rest of your work day. Hopefully it is not too much of a pain, and that your Friday goes easy. I like that color. What are you glazing over it?
Just jade.
Just jade.
Yeah, generally when I do this, the first step is to go in, do your base blend, if you will. It's not really blending. Then
base.
Go in and do a little bit heavier highlight on it, and then go back and blend that mid-tone.
Yeah.
In this case, jade, that we did right over the top of the dark blue.
Are you just hitting the whole thing?
No, just the highlights. Blend them back into the jade that's below them.
Yeah, but
That
you're
way
going
you get
over
that
all
mix.
of the highlights, not just a portion.
Oh no, yeah, all of them.
Yeah.
And then I'll do this again, but I'll glaze back with the second color and so on and so forth. So just a real quick way to kind of teeter-totter back and forth that gives you the ability to paint fast, gives good blends at the end. Well, it gives you good enough blends to keep going.
Yeah.
Then with the airbrush, we'll do our final blending.
Gotta figure out what big project. Four of my Nemesis Force weapons done. I've got 6 normal sized ones to go. Time.
Law Dog, Day Sense Insanity? 0.
Anybody doing anything fun on the weekend?
I'm working.
Don't work too hard.
Is that fun? Having fun yet? Is that fun?
Is it fun work?
No. I mean, actually, no. Now that I think about it, no. Unfortunately, no. It's important, though. So, I guess that's okay. I just need to, yeah, I honestly just need to get some time to sit down without distraction so that I can do some to-do list stuff, you know? And so just that for my own personal sanity, I feel like I'm chunking away at my my to-do list.
Yeah.
So you can see how just a couple layers of big chunky glaze gives us some pretty good blends, you know. where I just was able to throw that super bright color on there willy-nilly.
You're gonna finally start painting your Leviathan box, Gosu. Nice. Shard is gonna do an AOS Hobby Night paint jam. And the GH discussion.
General Handbook?
Oh, new General Handbook discussion. Nice. Okay, cool. Very cool. Paint more Shatterpoint. Mr. Predictable. Very predictable.
Hey, see what you did there? I see what you did there.
Which, by the way, thanks, Baby J, for the kind words on Ahsoka. Yeah, it was fantastic. You freaking killed it. Did him.
Very proud of yourself over
I'm having a... Hey, it's Friday, okay?
there. very, very proud of yourself over there.
It's Friday. I'm having a good time. Nobody can bring me down. What's up?
Sounds like a challenge, chat.
Fine. You know what? You know what this is time for? Time for couch time.
What?
This is what they get. No more painting for Big J. They're gonna be mean to me. I don't know if this is even on. Hello?
Nobody was being mean to you.
Chat.
You just want to sit down.
Can you hear me?
You just want to be lazy.
Hello. I do. I've been looking at the couch fondly. Because these couches are very comfortable. They're not even couches.
Chairs.
They're chairs. Although they're
They're
large
solo
enough.
couches, we determined.
Yeah, they're solo couches. Alright.
What are you doing back here?
What? What do you mean?
I thought you were going to sit on a chair.
No.
Oh. Chad, did I just hear something? I thought he was going to sit on a chair.
I wanted to.
Have you written the list yet to check it off, or is it all in your head? Deathwalker, the list of to-dos? Oh, my list of to-dos is digital. And it's always sitting on my computer staring at me, and it's always a burden.
It's always a burden.
Zan, thank you for the raid. What's going on, everybody?
Zan, what's up? Chair cam or chair and a half.
Hello. Zan,
Hello.
what's going on? Thank you for the raid. Welcome, welcome. How are we doing?
Got two kinds of wet in my pants.
There they are. Welcome, Raiders. Hope you had a great show. You have now arrived at Monument Hobbies,
Hey, somebody likes us.
land of crazy painting.
Yep. We do that here.
We are currently painting crazily. I'm doing this.
I'm doing fast, non-metallic, not non-metallic brain swords.
Brains. I love it.
They're brain swords.
That's perfect. Perfect. Zaya, thank you. Yeah, this is a model for Mindworks Games. We are, in America, we're the exclusive distributor for Mindworks. So this is Morgana Le Fay, the King Arthur legend. Goodie, baddie? I don't know. I guess it depends on which side of the fence you're on.
It was good and then was not bad. Or, I'm sorry. Was good, then was not good. I believe is how that is gone.
Welcome, everybody.
Indeed.
This is Monument Hobbies. If you're not familiar, if you're new around here, not familiar with us, we are the manufacturers of Pro Acryl paint. You may have seen some of our crazy ads around the interwebs. We make paint, and then we paint with our paint. Because we like paint so much. I heard you like paint. We make paint, and then we paint with the paint
that we make.
We hope you will too, if you like to paint. If you hang out here for very long, you'll love painting. You'll love the idea of painting so much that you will jump in and give it a go. That's our goal lately.
I like to paint.
To corrupt, or to help the world.
Corrupt.
To help the world find their way to the wonderful world of miniature painting.
Believe him.
And I am just sloppily figuring out my lighting on this model. She's a great model. I'm not quite 100% sure what I'm wanting to do here. So we're just kind of...
Par for the course.
Yeah, welcome to my life.
At least you got the to-do list.
Hey.
That you know you gotta do.
Damn it. Not fair.
No creativity in that list.
creative things that I need to do. But yeah, it's a list.
Gosu, your 1-year anniversary of painting is coming up soon.
Fantastic.
That's awesome.
Fan-freaking-tastic.
I love torturing you guys while I paint. You're having too much fun.
Zan says, I do like good paint. Well, good. We got you.
Nope, you do not eat the paint,
Deathwalker. We know where you live. Vermilion, we do not eat paint. Gonna see if we can convert some more people to the glory of PA paints tonight. Sure.
Yeah.
The shop owner is a huge fan and keeps everything stocked up, so I'm amazed when others haven't tried them yet. Well, that's great. Do your worst, friend.
Yeah. Get them good. What if it's lead based? Then especially don't eat the paint.
Yeah, for some reason my vitamins don't have lead in the list of minerals. My once daily vitamins. Not really focused on the lead part. Which may mean that I have a lead deficiency, but I'm okay with
I
that.
think it's probably pretty hard to have a lead. Considering it's like not very good for you. Zinc, iron.
So you say if you go to the doctor and they say you have a lead deficiency, your doctor doesn't like you much? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's like, hey, we need you to go eat some more lead paint.
It's like the doctor doesn't like me much. I think my doctor wants me dead. Why? He keeps telling me I have a lead deficiency. He keeps trying to prescribe old house paint.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. We don't want to eat that. We don't want to take that into ourselves. We don't want that to be part of our lives. None of that garbage.
Don't listen to these liars. Hey, this is a 12-step program for getting you to stop licking your brushes. Right here, live.
All right, we're doing sand bases.
Sounds like 1800s medicine. You know what you need? More lead. Lead's proven to be great.
We are doing the sand bases.
What? The sand?
But we're going to darken them up.
Okay.
We're going to darken them up.
Okay.
It wants to be somewhere between like here and color that represents the next stage of here.
Here and not there. Here and here.
And here and here. If I could use both, I would use both. I probably could use both.
Do whatever you want. You're a grown-ass man.
I am a grown-ass man. Thank you so much for noticing. I deserve the love and attention of being a grown-ass.
I don't think that comes with any of that.
I don't think so either.
I think your expectations need to be adjusted a bit.
They probably do, to be fair.
Kind of like that.
I'm just thinking these models need to be closer to the point where they feel done, because it looks like there's so much silver on them because of the bases. It's starting to drive me nuts. So I'm gonna cover up all these bases with some sand and then a further wash, and then maybe a little dry brush, and then some flock, tufts and some flock and some stuff, maybe a little rubble.
Lead and cocaine.
Lead
Doctors are
and
us.
cocaine.
Tassinar's got it. We got you covered. Come here. Take these lead pills. Chew on this nail. And this coca leaf. This coca leaf wrapped around this nail. And call me in the morning. If there is a morning.
Yeah.
Don't kiss any rattlesnakes. Don't go diving off any cliffs.
I think that's great advice.
We'll see you back here tomorrow. Sorry, Canary, it says paintception. Yes. Most definitely.
Definitely?
Yeah. You heard me.
Okay.
You heard me.
Okay.
Okay. I don't understand.
I don't need to understand, though. That's okay.
Alright. Thinking. Maybe what if I just stay with, like, okay, so here's where we've been. We've been dark blue mixed with jade, then pure jade, then dark warm flesh mixed with jade. What if we just start glazing in the dark warm flesh now? Move to a smaller brush. I'm going to be a little bit more detailed, but I think this is where we're going with this now. And this is just dark warm flesh. All right, we'll just start easing into it.
All right. That's a mostly done Space Marine.
They are not Space Marines.
They are.
They are Gray Knights. They get very angry.
When you don't give them proper...
You got it.
Yeah. Sure, that's fair, I guess. Gotta paint this guy's eyes. And is deserving of some tiny eyeballs. That looks better already. Look at that. Look at that. Would you look at that? Fancy, Smash Marine. Not Smash Marine.
You okay over there?
I'm tired.
I'm tired.
Y'all can tell when I'm tired because I really start to say some weird stuff.
This is where the WTF did he just say?
Yeah.
What's going on?
That's
over
tired,
there,
Baby J.
You okay, Baby J?
That's tired.
You having a
Baby J.
stroke?
Not having a stroke.
You like the green with the dark warm flesh? Yeah, jade as a green is fantastic. The dark warm flesh is working really, really well in it. And this is just a glaze of the dark warm flesh by itself now. And, you know, the jade being more blue, technically, than yellows gives us the ability to translate into these warmer tones and still hold it really well. But jade will also react very well with
Yellow.
other greens, more blues. It kind of rides the fence, so it's such a great additive and mixer.
Yeah. Because you can split it to be both cool and warm.
It's
'cause
like
it
our
rides,
purples. Jade is kind of like the purple for green and or for yellow and blue, right? Whereas you can have that blue-red relationship dialed in with purples as a foundation and mixer. Here with our blues and yellows, greens. Jade is just a great bridge color. This is the color palette that I'm using. The color we're putting on right now. We're not seeing it as that because I'm putting it on very thin.
What?
Deathwalker. Talking about how he blends his colors for taste. I know. No helping these people. Much as we try. Yeah, much as we try. Can only lead a horse to water. Trying to save you from yourselves, chat. You won't recognize it till much later on in life. How you should have paid attention to it. Not for our own good, but for yours. I'm really digging her. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't keep it from drinking the paint. Why, you. I oughta.
Yeah. Do it. Get him.
Get him.
Get him good.
Get him good.
Show him who's boss.
I am the boss.
You are the boss. Yes.
The model's giving you Avatar vibes right now. It really is me too, right? We're in that stage of alien flesh for sure. That's what I said earlier. You can stop at various stages along the track. You'll see me running here, and get a really cool, in this case, alien skin tone, beast, creature-y tone. You might be looking for a way to do some really cool colors for, somebody earlier was saying Tyranids or Tau. I could see this being a really cool color for Tau skin.
Yeah, it'd be a great color combo for the blue, bright blue Tau skin. Galadriel moment. You know, the other part of this relevant analogy that people are forgetting comes to bringing horses to a trough of water and not being able to make them drink. You may not be able to make them drink. You know what you can do, though?
Pop their heads off? Oh, wait.
You can make them not drink.
Pop their heads off?
Well, we can also do that, too. We'd have a lot less people hanging out in chat, though.
Yeah, sorry. There's a little...
And while we don't want them to eat the paint, we do like having them around. Most of the time.
I like how you threw that in there most of the time.
Yep. Y'all know who we're talking. Basing with peanut butter. That's going to be a tasty model. I'll tell you one thing. This does not taste like peanut butter.
Don't ask how he knows. We've already had to discuss this with our insurance broker.
The stupid kid did some stuff he wasn't supposed to. Now his eyeballs hurt. Keeps on talking about potatoes and stuff. Yes.
Even that glow here tight to the shoulders. The box art for her is similar. And it's lighting, and I really like it. Guard says, how would you know if you don't eat the paint? You sit on a throne of lies. Hey, no. We sit on a throne of hypocrisy.
Hey, you guys want to see something cool? Hey, I'm going to show you something.
We are
cool.
recovering paint eaters.
Here, check this out. Check this out. You guys want to see something really cool?
What are you doing?
Hey, you want to see something that's not attached to my name in chat? There's no liar tag attached to my name. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's true.
I cannot lie.
Maybe Baby J can be trusted. I haven't thought about this.
I cannot lie.
I haven't thought about this.
I am the only trustworthy one in this chat.
We're recovering paint eaters. We're here to tell you that it's better for you to learn from our experiences.
I unironically, actually.
An ex-brush licker?
Yeah.
I know this. You learned from Dallas, or didn't learn.
Yes.
You sat with Dallas forever, that guy.
Yeah. Two-brush blending, baby. It started to make my throat really scratchy, and I actually just stopped.
Yeah.
I was like, this is not acceptable.
Yeah. I guarantee you, man, that tingling at the tip of your tongue after painting all day, that ain't good. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say it.
Yeah.
I ain't your doctor, but I'm your friend.
Chat, I'm not actually joking either. I started getting like weird, scratchy throat issues.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, we're not doing this.
Turns out.
And it went away. After I whatchamahoozed it, stopped doing the two-brush blending stuff. He should never have his own tag. He should have his own tag under bus thrower.
Under bus thrower. I'm a fan. Needs an emote.
What the heck, Gosu? Oh my gosh.
Does it count if you lick your brush after you rinse it? Bringing your brush to a point with your mouth is not a bad thing if it's clean.
No. I like how this looks. Thank you for the suggestion.
Yeah, I think it's definitely the thing you needed to do, right?
Yeah.
I think, especially with the blue now.
Yeah, the blue is...
The blue popping.
Is nice and poppy.
And the sand base. Good colors.
Mm-hmm,
See, chat? Every now and then we have good ideas.
Mm-hmm.
It's rare, I'm not going to lie.
It is rare. But sometimes we got some good ideas. Chat, though, I don't know about those guys. Also, I got you, Baby J. Only it's like 6 years until you have the liar badge. Did you see that? Gosu gifted me a sub in an effort to try and get me to be a liar.
Oh, that's true, right? Unfortunately, we can't just hand anybody the liar tag, right?
Yeah.
You can only get it by doing the 24-month thing.
Uh-huh.
Well, Gosu, you've started the trial. See if he bites.
Once I've been here for 2 years, you can call me a liar, and it will be true. Until then, I am not a liar.
Chart says it lets you leave the right amount of moisture on your brush by licking it?
Nope.
Ugh.
You know what else does that?
Paper towel.
Paper towel. You know what else that does that?
Back of my thumb.
The back of your thumb. You know what else it does that? Your water bucket. You know what doesn't need to do that? Your mouth.
Baby J, letting you know it. Speaking the truth.
Don't even think about it, Gosu.
What's he doing?
Me calculating if I can gift you 2 years of sub. Don't even think about it. You crazy.
Don't do it, Gosu. Step away from the keyboard.
Yes, step away from the keyboard. Sir, I need you to step away from the keyboard.
What's going on, Mo?
Moho! What up?
Hopefully your day is doing better.
Not. It's a Friday, and we're doing silly things in stream. Being goobers, goofballs, and potatoes.
I feel like this is one where you're speaking about yourself.
Yes. That is accurate.
I'm like I feel like I'm just painting cool skin over here. I'm not real sure where all the rest of this is coming from.
You're being weird too.
I had the same thing for lunch Baby J did. I don't know what's going on. I apologize.
Wasn't what we ate.
It wasn't what we ate. Okay. Phew. Like, is mine just not kicking in yet?
I told you, it's Friday. My brain is only 50% here.
What? That's not what you tell your boss. I mean, I'm just gonna go out and on a limb here.
Mm-hmm.
He's,
Mm-hmm.
he's
Go
like,
ahead.
"Oh."
Yep. Yeah, uh-huh. Yep.
Chat. You were here the day Baby J disappeared. Remember that. Don't you remember that? Here at Monument Hobbies, we have a carpet, shovel, and a desert.
Yep. This is what Monument does with their tired employees. Buries them under 5 feet of dirt. Just kidding.
Is he though?
I'm actually not that tired. I am enjoying a relaxing Friday afternoon.
Save your money for the new paints, says Jen. You'll want to buy next month. The rest of us who will rub off and he'll be a liar sooner than later.
True.
We do have new paints coming out in August. New signature paints. About to drop, chat. Discussing with the artist today the first promo ad we want to do. We got something fun cooked up that I'm hoping they're gonna get some good work done on this weekend. Should be fun. It's tough because they're in Germany, so we gotta do long distance. I'm excited for the new paints too. I always get a kick out of when our products become reality, though. I'm kind of a nerd like that.
Doesn't make you. Makes you somebody who makes stuff. You always get excited when your stuff becomes real and people can.
To be honest, I've worked amongst inventors and creators for a large portion of my life, and you'd be surprised at how many people are just like, I don't care. Then they're done that, and I'm like, dude, how can you not be getting excited? It's about to go to launch, and they're just like numb against it. They just done it so many times, or just don't care. I'm like, I don't understand you. I still get sweaty palms before we hit the go live button.
Make awesome stuff. You do good. No reason for the sweaty palms. Only excitement.
You're not going to change me.
No, I'm not.
I'm like, nope, you're not going to change me.
Maybe one day we'll get there. But over the next month? Yeah. 8 models with some basing stuff on them. This stuff is great. I love our basing textures.
They're amazing.
They're
so many new flavor paint liquor. I swear to God.
No more of this eating paint, drinking paint garbage.
I swear to God. Silly kids.
How's that skin coming over there?
Horribly.
What?
No, I'm kidding.
Why?
Enjoying it.
What have you done?
Very therapeutic. I said I wanted to paint skin. I'm painting skin, and I'm enjoying it.
That's the most important thing.
I've done this.
That looks great.
You live how you preach? No, you don't. No, you don't.
Silly kids, Pro Acryls for painting. I concur.
The ad campaign actually says made for your miniatures, not for your mouth.
Oh my gosh, so good. So good.
Those ads started dropping today. I got served one already, and I was like, winner.
Winner. I'm loving it. It's great. This is perfect. Silly kids, Pro Acryl is for tricks. That's not how that works. Painting your no, spat snat. That's not. No, that's not where that goes. Is not where that goes.
But bright colors and milk. What?
What?
Are you mixing your paint and your milk?
I think this person is also tired. Is that Tim?
It's Tim. He's from Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
Land of paint and milk mixing. I am not from the country. I am a city boy, born and raised.
Largely am as well. Not quite as city as I am now. But close to. I was definitely not used to how many people were running around for 4th of July. That was kind of crazy.
You're right here in the thick of it, too.
Yeah.
By the park.
Yeah, I was just like, where are all of these people from? Why are they here? Well, I know why they're here, but why are they here?
Have you had a baby Guinness before? It's a shot of coal black with ivory on top.
Nope. Get that thought out of your brain.
Oh my god. This is going to be like a drink mixing book. The Pro Acryl drink mixing book.
I mean, that would be funny. But bad idea.
It's like the total opposite of what our ad campaign is supposed to be.
Yes, that's true.
Oh, it's horrible and great all at the same time.
I would say it's probably more accurate to say coal black with a very small layer of mahogany and then
So I want you to take a stop for a second, and think about what you're doing, Baby J.
I know
You're feeding the beast
I know.
right now.
Hey, look, my corrective brain got ahead of me and said, "Ooh, there's a better way to do this."
I need you to not take this so seriously.
I'm just having too much fun.
God. Somebody dial whatever the number is for the men in the white coats. I have to walk past this guy to get out of the room.
May not be able to get out of the room.
And I fear for my life.
Technically, you could crawl underneath your desk and go out the other door.
This is true, but there's a lot of boxes and wires, and you would hear a lot of crashing and cursing.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's probably not going to happen. I'll just grab a sharp object and head your way.
There are, in fact, plenty of those between us.
The drink mixing guide is one page, and all it says is don't eat and drink the paint. Yes. I do like the idea of the Pro Acryl cocktail book, right?
Yeah, that would be super fun.
Where it's just all the mixes of colors you can do, but we do it as a drink mixing book. That would actually be kind of fun. Might be kind of nifty.
I'd have that on my dining room table that doesn't exist.
All right, I need an airbrush.
Hey! We've arrived at airbrush o'clock, chat.
Finish out the stream with craziness.
Well, that is true.
Some raw, unadulterated nonsense.
All right, you got to tell us what you're doing. Play by play.
All right, play by play. Here, I'm going to go large screen. Cup.
About to do something silly.
Bam. The same color that I've been painting with, which is Signature Series Dark Warm Flesh from the amazing Daryl. Dose. We'll go ahead and put 3 drops in there. 3 drops of Dark Warm Flesh. Grab your glazed wash medium. Make sure it is not your white primer.
I almost did that the other day.
Yeah, not a good way to do it. Kind of satisfying when all of the little seepy, drippy paint stuff like falls out. Like I feel like I should use that as a piece. You wanted this as a piece of terrain for your granite?
No, I think I'm okay.
Kind of a neat piece of terrain.
No, I really think I'm good.
Hey, they never tried to give you anything. And with the glazed wash medium, we're going to do 1, 2, 20. Highly scientific mixing process here, folks.
But 20 drops of medium?
I don't know, that much. How much is that?
12.
How much was that?
12.
A lot. More than a lot. Mix that up. Boom, bam, boom. Very thick. Very painty. Then we get some water. About that much. How much is that, Jason? I don't know. Again, highly scientific mixing process here.
12.
Go with 12. We're going to go with 12. How much was that? 12. 12 what? Yes.
12. 12 12s.
12 drips, 12 drops. Are all the droplets the same size? So it's acrylic paint painting miniatures. You don't have to be scientific about it. All you have to do, folks,
Is get it right.
is get it right. I don't feel like that's what you need to tell people. You don't need to think about it. You just need to get it right. But what you really need is for it to be super thin. That's the goal. See, look at that. Ta-da! That is ultra glaze. It might be a little thick still, but I'm going to go with it. I feel like that's fluid enough. The water just gets me a little bit more fluidity. We're going to go with this. Here we go. Zip. So a little bit in there. Not a bunch. We'll keep some off to the side just in case it's a little thick. It still looks a little bit thick to me, but I'm going to go for it anyway. What's the worst thing that could happen, Chad? It only took me 2 hours to do this. Lose 2 hours of my life. Not a big deal. All right, here we go. Get in close. Filtering pretty much the whole model with this color now. Down the arm, then hand. Other arm over here. I love our paints. I gotta tell you, man, it's so hard to do this with other paints, and our paints are just like, hey, you want to do this? You wanna make pro painters look silly? Here you go. Do what they do, except do it 10 times quicker, and right the first time. Again, this is the same highlight color we were using. The only thing I'm doing right now is I'm using it to filter over the entire model so that I bring everything into kind of where I want my ultimate skin tone to be without overpowering right? Because if we just took a flesh tone and did our standard underpaint, overpaint here, it'd be very easy to knock all of this color back to the point to where you lose most of it. But we're not going for that, right? We want to maintain all of that jade and blue. We just want to blend it all, because you've noticed that as I've been painting, I haven't been blending at all. You know, or very little. The glazing, of course, will create blends. But that has not been the main objective of what I've been doing. The main objective has been to get my colors and lighting set. And you can see that I'm not applying tons of color, right? You can kind of see that I'm getting wetness on there. But all it's really achieving is a nice kind of light blending. I focus the airbrush first on the area where my brightest color is, so kind of like right along the bicep here, until I see wetness. And then I'll kind of rotate around and take that wetness into my shadows as well. You notice how I haven't really focused on the back of the arm at all during the time that we've been painting. That's because I knew I was going to come back with the airbrush like that, and look at that, boom, in like one pass I get my light set up and my midtones come alive, even on the dark side. That was just pretty much pure dark blue. But now a little bit of this dark warm flesh starts bringing out that little bit of jade that I did glaze back there, and so I start seeing my light. And my light favors her left side more. Honestly, feel like your painting has come so much since picking up Pro Acryl. Makes things I struggled with in the past feel so much easier. That's really the goal, right? I mean, you're really hitting it on the nose. Is that I wanted to make a paint that just made painting feel better. It feels like what you're trying to do, especially when you start getting into techniques like glazing, layering, blending, right? That now you can start seeing that we're getting a lot more traction here, right? All of this was done with super rough brush strokes, right? I have not done anything here that you guys out there can't do, right? The only thing is the placement of my color is the thing I'm having a big brain on, right? But look at that leg. You saw how rough I put the color on that leg, and look at that with the super zoom, with that little bit of airbrush over the top of that, and all my blends start coming in, right? Without making it look airbrushed, right? So we did this on, I forget what model we did it on the Dreadnought, and I showed you how on the big Dread you can do the same kind of technique to blend in your non-metallics, right? Because I did these real sketchy Wish.com non-metallics, and then I used the airbrush to just kind of fuzz that area out, right? So that all of this is done, you know, super, super quick. Because you can be super messy, really sloppy brush strokes, and let the airbrush with that really thin glaze from the airbrush, because not only is glazing going to let it kind of blend on its own, the airbrush atomizes the paint. So now your glaze is only hitting in small dots, so it's not like sheeting all over the model. And so now you get a really nice look on the model, where some of my texture still shows through, right? But I start smoothing all of that out and get set up for taking the skin into all the detailing that I'll do. But it makes for really easy finishing, I guess you would, of your base layers.
Yeah, it looks great. It's come alive!
Because the idea was not for her to have, like, blue skin. Not that it doesn't look great, but I wasn't trying to make her some weird alien. Goops are excited for the new Signature series. Awesome.
Me too.
We will have them at Gen Con, assuming no big issues arise between now and then. So if you happen to be traveling to Gen Con, be a great time to see them. Get your hands on them. Be one of the first. We will only have a limited supply at Gen Con, obviously, because we can't take all the paint.
This army looks so much better with the bases mostly done. They don't feel all silver anymore.
Man, I'm half tempted to just leave her like that.
That color?
It really is growing on me. It doesn't
Yeah, it
make
looks
sense.
really good.
It doesn't make sense because
Doesn't
I wasn't
necessarily
intending
have
on
to.
alien woman, but I think with some fleshy tones, some pinks in it, we could get away with it.
I mean, the art doesn't look like a human person.
It has a lot of human tones in it. You
Yeah.
can see what they were trying to do.
Yeah. But it's still a little exaggerated, right?
Oh yeah, by far.
I think you've kind of got a lot of that same sort of feel going on.
Just before I clean the brush, just make sure I get in here and focus in on any of the spots that I want to blend a little bit better. I don't want her to look like superhuman, so I don't need this cleft shadow between the shoulder to be quite so defined. I do want a pretty harsh shadow up underneath the chin, so I'm leaving a lot of that. And as it moves over to this side of the face, a lot of that blue still showing through. I do like that. Of course, underneath the arms, underneath the breasts, knee, things like that. So you'll notice that I am spraying down as if I'm my light source again. You see me do this all the time. Gouda.
Gouda?
Gouda.
Gouda.
I like it. Crystal, I'm happy with the back. I am. A little bit more over here.
Where is Gen Con located? It is located in the middle of Indianapolis. Indianapolis.
Yeah, at the whatever the field is there, and the convention center.
Yeah. It's like the whole city sort of becomes one with the show for a weekend. Or pretty much a week, because it's a long show.
Yeah, it's a Thursday to Sunday.
Yeah. And the vendor hall is open on Thursday as well, right?
Yes, I believe all day.
Yeah.
I think setup is Wednesday for that show.
Yeah, it's like Tuesday, Wednesday. There's some people who come in on Tuesday to start setup and they finish it the next day.
I think you get for the big companies, you get your premiere setup or whatever they call it.
Yeah.
The rest of us nutsacks get to do it on Wednesday.
Because I know when I was at Privateer, and they usually had pretty gigantic booths at Gen Con every year. They had like a flight of people that went early, like a day early, and they would go in on Tuesday and they'd get everything started, and then the bulk of the crew would come and they would finish the setup on Wednesday. But they also sent like
Brandon the painter. This is Morgana LaFay from Mineworks. We distribute Journeyman miniatures and Mineworks miniatures, and she'll be up on the store here in the next couple of days. I think Jen is doing a lot of the draft product entries right now, and then we just have to do some final review on pricing and inventory, and then they'll be up on the site. And we've got her. She's a limited edition Brom signature art model, so she will be limited to 49. Somewhere around 49. Of course, our employees may buy a couple, but there are currently 49 of this model in stock. This is, I think I read this is like number 329 of 400 right here.
Yep. Pretty small runs.
Yeah, they do like 400 or 500, sometimes 1,000 of a model.
Yeah.
For the Mindwork Artist Series stuff, usually is limited edition. You guys are getting a much blown out version of this model. Camera. That's more like the reality. Still a little bright, but that's because that dark warm flesh, I'm using it almost like a white tint right now.
Yeah, which is crazy because it's a pretty. It's not.
Oh
very
yeah,
light.
yeah. The funny thing is, right, the color that I've used for all of this is this. To give you an idea.
Yeah.
Right. So one of the things you start learning about color, especially in subtractive mixing, which is what we deal with outside of light, when you deal with paint and pigments, your subtractive mixing is what we call it, meaning that the only reason you see a mix of color is because one set of pigment sits on top of and subtracts from your vision another set of pigment.
Yep.
Right? Or overlays it, and then both are translucent and all of that. So you're not really mixing anything. Pigments don't magically, blue and green don't magically, or blue and yellow don't magically become a piece of green pigment. They just sit close enough to each other to fool the eye and make it see green. But another thing that you have to realize, and we talk about hue, saturation, and value a lot. And so this hue, right, on its own is not what I was going for. What I was going for was its relationship to this. That's what you're seeing on the model mostly. Well, look at neither of those colors. They're both darker than what we're getting here.
Yep.
Because I've done them so thin. Well, I did the jade at full value pretty much. But then this very, very thin over the jade lets it become this kind of weird off greenish color. You can see the yellow seeping in, but I could still paint this color directly on this model and have it look like a totally different paint. Right? Yeah. That's not what I was going for. I didn't really want that color. I wanted what that color becomes when I put it over this color very thin, and it gives me that third color, that mixed color, right? And so that's what you're seeing. So as you get used to doing that, you start opening up your entire paint collection, number one. You can go with fewer paints to create more awesome stuff, but you also start looking at your models a little different, right? You don't look at your model like, I'd paint them blue, but I don't really have a good combo of blue I like. Well, yeah, you probably do. Right? You probably have a blue you really like as a base coat, and then you can take something like Warm Flesh and start mixing it in and get kind of a seafoam color coming out of it. That might be the perfect highlight for that particular model, even if that paint doesn't sit on your shelf. So you start kind of pushing through the limitations of the physical product you have on your desk and start being able to open up your imagination to do all sorts of other things. And like I said, you can be kind of more exploratory and just kind of look at the model and say what I want it to become and start playing around with it. I'm really, really happy with where we are on the skin on her. I think that was good for a 2-hour journey today. That's a pretty damn good journey.
I think so too.
Would combining coal black and glazed wash medium work to make a matte gritty wash, or would the matte additive do weird things with the wash medium? No. No, I think somebody's told you that that's kind of exactly what it is, right? Ago, yeah, this is Brom. Brom made this. It is Morgana Le Fay from Minework. The Brom. That's the original art for the model. Kind of more of a brownish hue, but it has a lot of the jade in it at the extremities. I'm pushing it into a cooler skin tone. Yeah, like I said, there's only 400 of them made. Boom. This guy's scale is 1/24. She's about 75, 80 millimeters tall. Oh yeah, Brahms on Magic the Gathering. He did a bunch of the Dark Age stuff. Fantastic artist.
What did he do for Magic the Gathering?
He's done a lot of cards.
He's done stuff, yeah.
He's done a lot of
Avatar
cards.
Woe, stuff like that. Or no, Avatar Woe is somebody else.
He did the Scion of Darkness.
Yes.
I believe. Tons of stuff inspired by his work along with other art. Yeah. So, Boris Vallejo, Verzetta. I call them the Conan artists. This will always and forever be Conan art to me because as a kid growing up, the Conan art always had the weird skin tones and the real kind of like almost Grecian view of the body.
Yeah.
That muscular symmetrical perfection that wasn't, it made it uncanny valley to some extent.
Yeah.
And then the colors pushed it into fantasy as well. Some of my favorite stuff. So really, really excited to paint up more of these models. Show you my interpretation of that old classic kind of fantasy painting. But yeah, the medium is really built for adding to the medium is very matte. Like you can use our glaze wash medium as a matting agent for your other paints. If you were to take another manufacturer's brand paint that might be a little more satin, thin it down with a matte medium, you will get it to be more matte. So it's not a matte varnish in and of itself, but it is a very matte product. As you can see, this paint that we just did on her was what, 80% matte medium?
Yeah.
And you can see, like, I have not introduced any shine to this model at all. If anything, I dulled it down even further than the already matte, jade paint that we were using. So, and yeah, you can mix it with coal black, you can mix it with other colors, anything you need to do. The medium is one of our biggest selling products ever. Once people get their hands on it and they see how it works, they just keep buying it. It is fantastic. You see how I ran it through the airbrush. I mixed it with water. You can do the same thing. This was 80% medium, 10% paint, 10% water, in this. And you get this kind of still liquidy color. And that looks super opaque, right? It's really weird because this looks like, holy hell, that'd be a super opaque paint. But this is the glaze that I just painted on that whole model. Look at that. Almost like the pigment disappears. It's like magic, right? But it also helps you as you're learning glazing, brush glazing, because it allows you to work with a paint that feels like a paint and not a thin, watery solution that becomes hard to control and gives you weird spidering and crazy brush streaks and pigment piling up. We get people saying, hey, when I glaze, I get the texture appears on my model. It's kind of clumpy pigment. And it's like, yeah, because you're going too thin. Right? And when you're using water and trying to achieve an opacity that's next to zero, it's better to have that done with a product that keeps the paint feeling thicker. Yeah. So as you do your brush strokes, you keep moving paint the way you're used to, because the thinner the paint gets, you start making corrections you wouldn't normally do when you're painting because it's sliding around on the model differently. It doesn't feel like paint. So the matte medium or the glaze wash medium is superb for that. Absolute bar none, the best thing you can get for learning glazing.
It is single-handedly my favorite thing that we...
It's crazy. I think you use it with everything.
I do.
Yeah, I put that on everything.
I constantly have it on my palette. It's on everything.
Dun, 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 dun. Platinum Angel. Oh, yeah.
Nope.
He did Hatred. Well, Tomato. Showing up at the end. See ya later. Bye.
Tomato and better late than never.
All right, gang. Thanks so much for hanging out. If you stopped by through one of the raids, please hit that follow button. We love that you stuck around with us and watched some paint dry. Baby J working on his amazing Gray Knights army that he's done in like 24 hours. I mean, yeah, I don't think you've even painted them. So, I think that was literally 8 on the stream, and then yesterday and today. It was literally...
Yeah.
It was literally Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
Oh, when was July 4th? Tuesday? Oh, so it's been 4 days.
Yeah.
4 streams.
Yeah.
So 8,
plus 5.
9, 10, 11.
12, 13.
12, 13. 14, 15.
Oh, was it 15?
Yeah, 4 days total.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. An 8, 2 2s, and a 3.
So 15
That's
hours.
Crazy! All right. Guess who's painting all my armies from now on? That guy.
He's just... I'm going to have so many...
Yesterday, see, it stuck with me because yesterday you said, I'm surprised you haven't asked me to paint all your armies. And to be nice on stream, I was like, oh, I'd never do that to you. But then I went home.
And you were like, ooh.
And I thought about it. And I said, we pay that guy, don't we?
Yup. Yeah, they do.
It's a good thing I need him for more important things than painting my armies I'll never play with.
You never know. I just may have a painted army that I don't want at some point, and you're like, ooh, I want that one.
Oh, yeah, exactly. All right, gang. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Like I said, tune in again on Monday. Remember, if you're new here, we stream 5 days a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, like today, we do our hobby lunch at noon Pacific time till 2 p.m. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays, we start at that 2 p.m. slot, so a little bit later in the afternoon, and we go till 5. So it gives you 5 chances at multiple timelines to catch up with us during the week. We'd love to see you back for more paint shenanigans, fun learning, and hobbying with Pro Acryl. Remember, kids, stick around. We're going to find somebody to raid, show some love on the channel. We want to... What are you doing? Show some love in the chat. I'm like, over here. I see them. Pointing at the side of the corner of my... Anyway, show some love in the chat we wind up in. Have an amazing weekend, and we will see you on the flip side. Oh, and don't eat the paint. Bye.